Hi, in this video, we'll see the difference between the three types of OS, that is Windows, Linux, and Android. An operating system is the most important software that runs on a computer. It manages the computer's memory and processes, as well as all of its software and hardware. It also allows you to communicate with the computer without knowing how to speak the computer's language. Now let us talk about the three types of OS. Windows. Windows is a group of various proprietary graphical operating systems which is provided by Microsoft Incorporations. It is also known as Microsoft Windows. It is the most used operating system in the personal computers. The first version of Windows was by Microsoft in 1985. The most recent version of Windows for personal computer is Windows 10. Coming on to the Linux, it is a group of open source Unix-like operating systems which was developed by Linus Torvalds. It was basically written in C language and assembly language. The target system of Linux distributions are cloud computing, embedded system, mobile devices, personal computer, servers, mainframe computers, and supercomputers. The first version of Linux was launched in 1991. The most recent version of Linux for personal computer is 5.6. Now, moving on to the Android. Android is the mobile operating system which is provided by Google. It is based on the modified version of the Linux kernel and other open source software. It is specifically designed for touchscreen mobile devices like smartphone and tablets. It was developed using C, Java, C++, and other languages. The first version of Android was launched by Google in 2008. The latest stable version of Android is Android 10. It is provided totally free of cost. It is the most used operating system overall. Now, Windows is very simple to use as you don't need any technical knowledge of coding or terminal commands. Windows is proprietary, so its source code is inaccessible and you can't customize it as per your wish. You can't take the full control of your Windows. In a Linux-based operating system, it is not necessary for the user to have a knowledge of command lines or coding. But if you have these things, you can effectively use your machine. In a Linux-based OS, with the help of the root user, you can take the overall control of your operating system. Android is a better operating system developed for mobile platforms, where it gives a friendly UI and performance for the users. It is also built on Linux kernel. So likewise, the root user in Linux-based OS, if you root your Android, you can take the overall control of your Android and you can do any modifications as per your wish. Android is also an open source. When you buy a phone, you pay only for the hardware and for the company's customized OS, but not for the general Android. Google doesn't make Android proprietary. It leaves Android open source, so which many developers across the world can customize and develop their own OS. Now, Windows executable file format is .exe. Exe files are a Windows-specific executable file format. When a user or other event triggers an executable file, the computer runs the code that the file contains. Executable file contains binary machine code that has been compiled from source code. Linux executable file format is .elf. The standard the standard Linux executable file format is named executable and linking format. That is the full form of ELF. It was developed by Unix System Laboratories and is now the most widely used format in the Unix world. Android executable file format is .apk. It is the APK file format, also known as Android Application Package or Android package, which is generated and distributed and installed on mobile phones with Android OS. Microsoft Windows uses hybrid kernel type architecture. It combines the features of the monolithic kernel and microkernel architecture. The actual kernel that is used in the Windows is the Windows NT. In general, most kernels fall into one of three types: monolithic, microkernel, and hybrid. Linux is a monolithic kernel, and the kernel used by Android is the Linux kernel. Now, moving on to the security, Windows is a highly targeted operating system simply because of the size of the install base makes it the most efficient to attack. The Linux is the most secure because it's open source. Anyone can review it and make sure there are no bugs or backdoors. And Android is the least secured. So that was all about this video. Thank you.